Greetings, dear denizens of planet Dirt. It is I, your future alien overlord, DocKaiju. I'm here to pretend to humbly accept your award as under 1K horror YouTuber of May. Thank you, thank you. I have to thank my human host, Justin. He is the only one, I think. The rest of you, well, you're all pitiful to an obviously greater being such as myself. But my host, Justin, he has a lot of thank yous and other things, since he and his creative partner, unfortunately, I have to have them do most of the work for me. So, I have to let them have some say, so here they go. So, hi everyone. The nomination and victory for my great overlord, and I guess are truly humbling. Really, I have to share this with my creative partner, Critter, who, when not on screen with me, he is in the background helping me and providing all the support he can possibly provide, and probably a lot more than he should be. I want to thank a lot of people, more people than I can name, for those who have helped, propel me, and get me into live streaming. With recent events, some things have been a little bit mixed, but if you've ever seen Phantom of the Opera, you might know how patronage can go wrong, especially when people don't recognize power dynamics. Anyway, in particular, I want to thank, obviously, Critter, as well as, of course, Julie B. Deep Dives and Scarlet Echoes, and everyone else who pushed and supported me in streaming, such as Dieter, Lady Shasha, Tony Man 100, Patrick of Half Cheetah Will View, Tony and Phil of Teflon TV, JennTheTeacher, Amy of Pixievine TV, Jamie of ScifiVision. Sorry, Scarlet's often on ScifiVision, so the two names, they just tend to pop together. Lori of ReelCinemaTherapy, Doug Hughes, also known as Frumley's Uncle Dougie Fresh, and Frum's Man in Yellow. DanaMarie of The Witches Brew with DanaMarie. Mr. Grant Gregory AI, Jay Jose Prendez, also known as Master Chaos, and last but not least, my mom, my dad, my stepdad Joey, my brothers, and Tristan for supporting me in this insanity, and also my Vavo, who has sadly gone on. I, of course, also want to thank my Kaiju College crew. I'm probably forgetting a lot of folks. Well, I know I'm forgetting a lot of folks, but here are the ones I can kind of name off the top of my head really quick. Let's see: Shadow Skulk, Anon, B, Kimberly, Kelly, with Alice, Samuel, Vibrant Numerals, Drace, Miguel, also known as Dark Elf, but with a bougie spelling. Alexis, also known as Love Crochet by Alexis. Thank you so much for your hard work on my crochet dolls. I absolutely love them. And Jostin, Steven's Flaming Spork, and Bill Chill, and many, many more. Also to TC, who's been my only Patreon subscriber for years. I also want to thank some of my other inspirations, drag artist Complete Destruction, who does amazing horror drag, Elvira, producer, director, screenwriter, you know him, Charles Band of Full Moon Features and Full Moon Studios, Full Moon Entertainment, and Empire Pictures. Oh man, that guy is my idol. Yeah, I know he's got his flaws, but I kind of even love those. But I mean, I am, playing a horror villain, so you can't begrudge me that. And Madonna, which might surprise some, or maybe not. And last but not least, big inspiration, Dr. Morgus the Magnificent. Absolutely love that man. Rest in peace, or pieces, whatever you prefer me to say. Well, last but not least, I need to thank the whole family, especially showrunner John Griffin, who through his art, Instagram posts, personal interactions, he's proven to be a uniquely exceptional individual, kind, a brilliant artist, and he's been truly inspirational. So is the show From, and this amazing community that has just created around, has formed around his show, and you can tell that the show itself has soul to it, because it seems to attract a lot of people that have deep empathy, compassion, and a lot of soul and interest in the deeper or hidden mysteries of the universe. But yeah, I'm really humbled by winning this award. I didn't expect it. I also want to thank everyone who voted. Obviously, and thank you for nominating me as well. I'm really surprised, and it was unexpected. I started DocKaiju during the pandemic while I was unemployed for the first time in a long time. I was trying to plot a new course for my life, and I watched a bunch of YouTube videos before trying to decide what I wanted to do with my life, and like kind of like zero focus on. And I kind of wanted a clarity of purpose to my life, and that's when I decided I want to dedicate my life to monsters, mechas, and magic, and my creative pursuits, also music. It's been it was about a decade at the time since I had graduated with my bachelor's degree in English and literature. I had thrown myself into activism after college and then settled down. I'd worried that my creativity and my dreams were kind of like a waste, because I was already like getting to like my late 30s, and hadn't really done anything with my college degree, or really a whole lot as far as like developing my creative pursuits beyond music, and I'd taken even time from that. I used to sing and play ukulele on street corners in Providence and a few other places, under the name Justin Val. Well, thankfully, successful or not, I mean, here I am. I'm living my dreams, even if I'm in temporary poverty due to being unemployed again. But that doesn't last long for me, so I'm not too worried. Right now, I'm using the time to do a lot of self-work, try to metamorphose and emerge again even better. And I've got Critter by my side and now Jen on the team. I kind of feel like the sky and my own discipline are the limits. And thank you so much for all the support and everything. All right, now I got to get to nominations. I've got to nominate I've got to nominate 4 people to see who's going to be the under 1K horror YouTuber of June. And so please vote in the comments. Comment with your vote. So please share the video to anyone you want to vote, I guess. And have fun. So I'm doing kind of I kind of want to acknowledge people that don't get a whole lot of acknowledgement, like co-hosts of streams and channels. And I have one other person that I'm nominating who is not a co-host, but everyone else is. And I feel like co-hosts don't get enough love by the community, I feel like they might, but they don't get like the big recognition that I feel like they deserve. Like, yeah, the people who run the channel, whose show they might be on, like, yeah, they might give them a lot of support, might be like really awesome to them and everything, but they really do deserve more recognition. They don't really get like, when people talk about like channel, they might not get like mentioned right away in the name. They associate it with someone else. They're not necessarily getting associated with the wards of the channel, or at least don't feel like it's associated with them. And so I've nominated 3 of my nominations are co-hosts on larger channels, but they also have their own channels that are smaller and under 1,000 subscribers. So if you can, please, let's help change that. Let's get them over the 1,000 number. And so let's see, I'm picking them in alphabetical order, and this way makes things a little less biased. So let's see, first in alphabetical order, we got, that'd be D. So, all right, so my first nomination, these are kind of long, I apologize. Actually, let me go through them really quick and like the names, and then I will talk about them. This way, if you just want to know the nominations, and then peace out, you can. In order, the nominations are The Witches Brew with DanaMarie. Next would be, let's see here, that would be E. So that'd be EllenTheMarvelous and of MarvelousStudios, also known as the movie Gangstar. Then next would be J, so that'd be JennTheTeacher, and then finally would be S, who is Scarlet, of Scarlet, also known as Scarlet M Echoes. Alright, so now let's go in and let me talk a little bit about them, in case you all want to piece out now that you know who the nominations are. And I'm going to give links to their own personal channels, their own channels, and as well as channels that they appear on in the description of this video. So please check that out. Please check them out. Please subscribe to them. Give them some love and support, and then vote below for your favorites. For your one favorite that you think should be the winner for June. So DanaMarie, the creator behind The Witches Brew with DanaMarie, frequently collaborates with a tight-knit circle of horror, mystery, and sci-fi television content creators. Her guest appearances and co-hosting spots primarily center around deep dive theories, live watch parties, and episode breakdowns for specific television fandoms. She is most commonly seen on the following channels and streams: Scarlet Fever 88, whose stream focuses intensely on live watch parties, rapid fire theory crafting, deep lore breakdowns, especially for the horror mystery series From. When DanaMarie joins Scarlet Fever's broadcast, the content tends to cover post-episode reactions. They regularly jump on live immediately after a new episode drops to parse out clue-by-clue breakdowns, tracking background Easter eggs that most viewers miss, timeline and map theories, character analysis. They do fandom crossover streams. They do a lot of highly collaborative multi-creator panel roundtables where they bounce radical simulation versus purgatory versus fey magic and other theories off of one another in real time. She also appears on The Walking Dead Explained, or TWD Explained, which is on Twitch and YouTube. That channel covers The Walking Dead primarily and The Walking Dead universe, such as Dead City and Daryl Dixon, as well as Stranger Things and From. She is frequently a collaborator with the host. She co-hosts she tends to co-host special multi-hour live streams. She joins Twitch launch broadcasts, participates in audience giveaways and theory discussions. She also appears on the Thrifty Typewriter. They do breakdown videos in depth. They cover hidden Easter eggs and deep dive lore analysis within mystery box horror television, such as From and The Wheel of Time. It says Wheel of Life, but I think that was supposed to be Wheel of Time. And then she does cross-stream watch parties and roundtables on her own channel. She has her own pre-game show and watch parties, and she regularly cross-promotes and brings these exact same small creators onto her own channel, her own couch, so to speak, and vice versa. And she is a lot of fun. She tends to bounce between real serious theories that are grounded, and then she likes to have her tinfoil hat theory time. And so please do go and check her out. Next up, would be EllenTheMarvelous. She is the only person on here who is not a co-host. EllenTheMarvelous is currently she lives in Iran, and she is obviously they have an internet blackout there, so she has to work with her sister overseas to put together the videos now and to get them out. A lot of us were really worried about her when the conflict began, and eventually she was able to get word out, and now there's a ceasefire. But things were really scary during the conflict, especially because she lives near a place that could be a target. And she takes care of her elderly parents. So it's really impressive to me that she's able to put these together and put them out. And she operates mainly as an independent creator. She hasn't really made any official guest appearances on other mainstream YouTube channels. But she calls herself the movie Gangstar. Her content operates as a unique blend of deep dive pop culture breakdowns and philosophical psychological analysis, rather than basic entertainment recent events like recaps. Her reviews are framed as kind of like a shadow work session meant to guide viewers through their own metaphorical hero's journey. Her core areas of focus are horror and sci-fi horror and sci-fi mythology. She provides extensive, highly detailed narrative breakdowns of psychological horror and thriller shows, especially TV shows like From, It, Welcome to Derry, and oh crud, there was another one there that's skipping my head. Oh, The Institute. I think she also covered The Boys a bit, if I remember right. She covers a lot of hero's journey and Jungian theory, applying traditional literary and psychological frameworks such as Aristotle's Poetics, Joseph Campbell's theories, Carl Jung's archetypes to redefine the traditional tragic and comedic protagonist. And she does a lot of atypical superhero and cinematic analysis. And yeah, she has covered The Boys, as well as Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy, and various Marvel Studios properties. She does archetypal tarot integration into her analysis to further dissect the characters' trajectories and explore the cosmic themes within cinema. She actively integrates tarot cards into her channel's playlists, treating major pop culture plot lines as real-world mirrors for self-discovery. It's very beautiful. Her material can be a little bit like information and symbol dense, so sometimes for me to get like a full understanding, I have to watch it more than once because there's so much packed in there. Really, really worth a watch. Her channel, and she's an inspiration. Let's see here. Next up on the line, we got JennTheTeacher, and you all know Jen. She's a frequent co-host on my channel, panelist. But now, as we're moving on, she is becoming a channel partner. And we're doing some rebranding with the channel and stuff. We're gonna come up with a new name for the show. There'll be a new Discord and stuff. I'll have another announcement on that at some other time. But it's exciting stuff. There is a little bit of a sad stuff that too goes with it, but whatever. Life goes on. And so JennTheTeacher, she doesn't maintain her own like channel as far as like putting out much in the way of content, but she creates a lot of content and contributes to multiple channels. And I just realized you brought up the wrong descriptor thing. Here we go. Let's see, she's a frequent special guest and contributor who appears on the following live streams and podcasts, such as ReelCinemaTherapy. Sorry, I'm messing this up. She appears frequently on, besides my channel, to cover Monarch Legacy of Monsters and other giant monster stuff, as we've done in the past. She's been on, and is regular kind of, I believe, on SceneInvaders. And she tends to be a special guest or co-host. She's covered Paradise and Stranger Things. She's also the resident expert guest for the Murderbot series. And she joins main hosts Dan, Xander, and Felicia for deep dive reviews and recaps. She brings a lot of fun and really great research and theories to the shows. And her personality is just fantastic. Obviously, she's on Kaiju and Critter Show. She's also on ScifiVision. She's a featured contributor, live stream guest. They've covered, they did Midnight Murderbot. She was a key part of Monday night live streams covering the Murderbot series. They also covered Revival, obviously From, the new Punisher film, and Daredevil Born Again, and much more. She has also been a frequent guest on ReelCinemaTherapy. She joins host Lori, who's a clinical social worker, to analyze films and series through a psychological lens. And they have covered together From, Coldwater, and I believe Revival. And they tend to, on that channel, they tend to focus on character psychology and trauma in sci-fi and horror. And then, let's see, was that all? Yep. All right, and so that's our wonderful JennTheTeacher. And then last but not least is Scarlet M. Echoes. And of course, you all also know Scarlet from Academy. And all right, before I wander off of my script here, So you also know her as WildMarjoramDieselpunk 6396. She's a staple panelist and co-host across a network of specialized mystery, horror, and science fiction YouTube commentary channels. She frequently joins forces with fellow creators to provide deep dive analytical context, track background details, Easter eggs, psychological character breakdowns across several platforms, and really bringing in the fun and comedic relief. Scarlet and I have so much fun on streams together. Like, it is such a ball. And so, as I'm sure everyone knows, Scarlet appears often on, and was a regular co-host on ScifiVision. Not on all the shows. ScifiVision is kind of like a broader network run by Jamie, and so she has like different shows on there, kind of like I was doing the Kaiju and Critter show on my channel. And so, but Scarlet is a frequent guest on most of those, and ScifiVision is a channel that's dedicated to, has a dedicated community for science fiction, fantasy, and horror tracking reviews, live breakdowns, and actor interviews. They do a lot of actor interviews, and they're really awesome. Her role, Scarlet regularly serves as central co-host alongside Jamie and Jen on many of the streams she's on lately. Of course, as you know, also too, Karen and AJ are also on ScifiVision. Sometimes they are on shows together, on lives together too. And she tends to anchor major seasonal live panels, episode reviews, and interactive community chat streams. Scarlet tends to put together a lot of trivia lives. And those are really fun. So shows and films covered on ScifiVision with Scarlet are from Daredevil Born Again and The Punisher One Last Kill, Widow's Bay, Yellow Jackets, Stranger Things, Tales from '85, and I'm sure there's more. And Scarlet was also co-host with me on Julie B. Deep Dives for From Academy, where Scarlet was also the main co-host. And there she covered From, The Last of Us, The Residents, and much, much more. And she has also appeared on, she's also on frequently on ReelCinemaTherapy's channel. I believe we've already discussed ReelCinemaTherapy. That's Lori. She's a clinical social worker. She explores the clinical psychology, trauma, and emotional behaviors behind movie and TV characters. Scarlet is essentially a crossover guest panelist, and she bridges the gap between specific lore of a show and the deep psychological analysis the channel emphasizes. And Scarlet has a lot of background experience and knowledge of the entertainment industry and cheap B movies, like deep film lore and stuff, like amazing. And so let's see, did I get all the shows that she's covered on there? Yep. All right. So those are my nominations. Please vote below in the chat with your nomination. With your vote, your pick. Please only pick one, and please only vote once. And thank you so much for listening to my long ass rant.